Oh, it is so good. Look, here we are. We're live.
The press of a button. We live again, coming at you live. Try
It is
new tech.
incredible.
Yeah,
Here we are in the year of our Lord 2024, and we're talking about AI. We're so excited because we're like, wow, we went live. This is
hit a
amazing. We're
button, go live, and start streaming. So, welcome to Try New Tech.
Welcome to Try New Tech. I'm Dr. Shannon Gregg, and I am with Jason Anthony, and we come to you every morning, every Tuesday morning at 7:45 a.m., which today, Jason, is not my favorite time since I woke up yesterday, flew to Boston, attended a conference, and flew home all in the same day.
Oof, that's a lot. Yeah. So,
It was a lot. I'll tell you what was really fun, though. The CEO started off with a keynote, and he said, "Welcome to this tech conference." It was for a particular company. "Welcome to this tech conference. I have so many exciting announcements, and I can promise you none of them are about AI." And the whole crowd roared.
yeah, it can get a little bit, exhausting. Just the sheer amount of news, programs, apps, everything. It's wild. So,
Everything, which is why we decided to do this. You and I, Jason, would just hop on a Zoom and say, "Oh my God, look at this thing that I just found. Look how much this helps my productivity." When you and I both run small businesses, and a lot of our clients are small businesses. So we're always looking for ways to make them be productive. So we decided to share our wealth with these sort of adult unboxing videos. Yeah.
yeah, it's a great way to explain it, and give people kind of a glimpse into not only, like you mentioned, the tools that we've been using or may have discovered, but something they may have been interested in, so they can kind of get a first look and then make the decision after the fact. So, with
So
that said, I don't know what we're checking out today. If you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, we kind of throw these on each other as a surprise, so neither of us really know. And this week it's Shannon's turn to try new tech.
I am so excited to show you this. I learned about this. I'm in a wonderful peer group with my friend Dion Major. And one day I got on the peer group and I saw Coca Sexton on there. And Coca Sexton is incredible. He's really who I studied social selling from when LinkedIn first became a thing. I really started to understand everything I knew thanks to Coca Sexton. So he jumped on and started talking about how he started his own new company, and he was using all these wonderful AI tools. And I was like, give it to us, buddy. And he introduced us to what I'm going to show you today, Jason, Reclaim.ai.
Okay.
I am going to tell you this is one of the most exciting things that I have played around with in a while. It is right now I'm still in the free one, and I think this is the other thing you and I do for anybody who's new. We try to show things that allow you to try it in a freemium sort of way, and that's exactly what Reclaim.ai is allowing me to do. So I've been trying it out for about a month. Reclaim.ai will allow you to come in and set priorities to your calendar. So I use Google Calendar, I'm a Google shop, and you can set priorities. You can say, I have a high priority meeting. And if it's one that isn't scheduled, say every Tuesday morning at 7:45, it will find a place for it on your calendar. And or you can set a habit. So I set a habit for myself of lunch because while I love eating, and I think everyone who knows me knows I am extremely food motivated, I sometimes will just work my entire day straight through meeting, and never take time for lunch. So I decided to set lunch as a priority. So you can see here, I pulled up the very helpful tour, and it's showing you how you can set priority levels, deciding between like 4 different priority levels that they've set. It will allow you to reprioritize. So kind of like a Kanban view where you can drag it from one sort of section to another to say, you know what, this one isn't critical anymore. Eating lunch isn't critical. It's a high priority. And then it will allow you to connect all of your calendars. So I did connect this to my work calendar. And Jason, before we talk about this, I want to show you the part that I thought was the most exciting. And that is if you have a scheduled meeting and that meeting has in the where line and address, a physical address, Reclaim.ai will automatically put travel time around it, which to me is the best thing I've ever seen. So you'll remember my Pittsburgh team and I did an improv class during the summer, and it had a physical address on it, downtown Pittsburgh. And so it created this little travel notification, allowing me time to come back home and not let somebody schedule a meeting I use Confirmed Scheduler. So it wouldn't allow somebody to schedule a meeting knowing that I would be in the car. And it gives this warning for anybody who has access to my calendar. Shannon's traveling at this time and may not be available for calls or meetings. So,
That's
Jason,
big.
what do you think about this?
I'm in awe right now, and I'm like getting ready to sign up over here because I do this physically now. So like I have my meetings, I see the calendar, then I go in, especially if I have like stand-ups or any type of recurring things or even just personal life stuff that I know, and I have to pad on 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on traffic or an hour, what have you. So automatically doing this would be great for me. It'll save me a lot of steps and time in my schedule. This is super cool.
I love it. I love it. So Andrew on my team and I both sort of put it into action. We chose different habits. Obviously, mine was lunch. Andrew said he wanted some time to be able to catch up with his email at the beginning and end of his day. So it did create that for him. It is so far one of the most exciting things I've seen. Friday I have an appointment with my oncologist at 1:15. So I usually schedule that for, 12:45 to 3:15, trying to buffer that time in there. Now I won't get confused knowing that I'm scheduling those 3 months out every time, and, just schedule for 12:45 and say to myself, is the appointment at 12:45? Don't have to leave my house at 12:45. This is a game changer.
Yeah, I like your example of lunch here. Mine is breakfast. If I don't make time specifically to have breakfast, I will sit down and start working, and the entire day goes by, sometimes skipping lunch as well. So I think making food a priority is like really big, especially for your well-being, just in general, and to stay focused. But this is really cool. Also a workspace Gmail user, so I like that it can integrate seamlessly. But I use a lot of Mac and Apple products, so I have those combined. So I'm assuming I can also add those in here as well.
You sure can. You can just create, breakfast, give it the priority that you want it to have. For you, breakfast is critical. You need that to get your day started. You can decide the color that you want it to show up on your calendar, which, as a Google user, that is the exact behavior in the UI that we already expect.
Yeah.
You can choose what days you want it. Maybe you only want to make sure you have breakfast during working hours because on Saturday and Sunday you leisurely eat when you wake up. You can decide how much you want it to be repeated, what the duration is. And if your habit cannot be scheduled, do you want it to double book you so you don't forget to eat, or do you want to remove it altogether? It is just the coolest thing. And then it allows you to say, like, here's how aggressively we're going to defend this habit. If breakfast for you, Jason, is so critical, we want to make sure that it always looks busy so nobody can book on top of it, even if they have access to your calendar.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. Habit tracking is key here.
It really is. And I
I
think
would
this goes back to,
Okay.
like, we're always thinking about productivity, right? That's what we're talking about AI as a use case for. And wow, if this doesn't fall into that category.
Absolutely. And I'm assuming, it's tracking and monitoring, all of the individual facets of your calendar. Is it providing any insight, or what's the next step here as it starts to gather data and information about you?
Oh, you better believe it. It is giving you
Ooh.
statistics. Now, there are analytics, which for people like you and I that are extremely disciplined about our time. And, in fact, I wrote a book about time management, and you're the one that gave me the idea for the title. It's about time. So, this for you and I, as calendaring nerds, this is incredible. So, you can see, how was my time spent? It was spent on external meetings, team meetings, It was spent in one-on-ones, travel time, deep work, which I do not get enough of during the workday, shallow work. And then it really sort of takes you through so you can see where are your habits falling in. What is your most productive day? My most productive day being on Wednesday makes perfect sense to me because Mondays and Fridays I am meetinged up. And then it takes you down into some quality of life statistics. Who are
Oh,
the people that you've met with, which is wild? And what is your work life balance? So, how much time have you worked outside of normal hours based on your calendar, not just your habits? Which
right.
is incredible. How much do you love this?
I'm loving it, and I'm kind of scared to see how much time I'm working outside of normal work hours. My schedule's so sporadic, and just I'm working any given time. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I can definitely see myself using this, and it's funny enough, the timing's perfect because I've been leaning heavily into automation, right? Not only in the processes in my workflow and just my
Right.
life, just trying to get them all stitched together now that we have these new types of platforms and softwares that enable us. So this is perfect timing for me specifically to check out Reclaim. Yeah.
It's fantastic. The settings are very easy to use. I think the user interface for this is so clean and simple. And something that I think is adorable is under Share Reclaim, they have this very fun confetti to draw your attention and visual interest to the bottom left of your screen saying, hey, we know you want to share it. You're having such a good time with it. How cute is that?
Pretty cool. You'll have to send me that link. I mean, I have it up here already, but I don't know if they offer any type of, are you running a free, what type of subscriptions are we looking
I'm
at?
running a free one, and it is, they will give you referrals. So, if you get so many signups, you get some months for free. But this is how spectacular this is while I'm using it for free. Now, again, it's freemium, so it starts you off with all of the features.
Mhm.
They've sort of stayed, but it is one of those things that I looked at the pricing and I'm telling you what, I felt like it was really inexpensive. I think it was $8 a month. Let us check that out. How about that? Let's see. If we purchase it, yeah, $8 a month.
Nice. That's not bad at all. And then looks like you can switch to yearly as well. And typically they'll discount down if you go for the year or the annual. That's pretty cool. Yeah, $8 a month. I think that's a no-brainer. Or even just like,
Right.
start with the light plan, check it out, integrate some calendars, see if you like it, and then you can step in, to these other plans. This is really cool.
And I think this is one of the things that I appreciate about ethical tech. So when we're thinking about AI and using it for good, and the developers thinking about the end user, which my company's called Cloud Adoption Solutions. That's where the adoption part came from. Don't
Yeah.
build tech you don't want anybody to use. And I thought this was really sweet. Based on your usage, the starter plan looks just right for you. So they're not getting crazy trying to, sell me up to the highest and then pull me down from there. They're like, "Hey girl, you are now somebody who uses the calendar so much. We think starter is good enough. We want you to eat lunch.
Absolutely. Yeah, keep fed.
Please stay fed."
This is great.
I
Any
will.
other cool tips or tricks or items that you found here? Or
What's great is if you're already using a scheduler, like I already told you I use Confirmed. It works with your scheduler. If you're using multiple calendars, because I have my home and family calendar ported in so I can see it all in my work calendar, it will pull those in as well. So it will allow you to surface anything that you want to show to it, which is pretty exciting, I think.
yeah, I have the integrations page pulled up here as well on my end, and I see that it's got some really cool integrations: Slack, Zoom, HubSpot, Asana, Jira. So there's a lot of different tools. It looks like it will kind of plug into automatically, usually, or even via API. I'm sure you could write something custom. Um, so yeah, so I think the more intel, the more information you're giving it, probably the better this thing's going to work for you.
I completely agree. It's just like anything else. The more you feed it, the more it's going to learn you. The one thing that you and I know that I hope everybody who's watching is beginning to understand is there is a lot of responsibility with AI. So when we're thinking about large language models and we're thinking about training the algorithm, the more information we give it, the better it's going to return for us. But there is, I think, something that is inherent in the ethics that is required for the developers. So making sure that you're only exposing the data that you need to, and that everything's sort of coded in a way that allows it to take the actions that it needs to. And Jason, I've been playing around with Reclaim for about 6 months. I'm sorry, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it's one of the most ethical pieces of tech that I've seen in a long time. And I am a person that refuses to allow TikTok pass through the internet in their household.
Yeah, that's big, and obviously a growing part of the larger conversation that's being had kind of across all industries, right? As this technology rolls out, in at work, in home, right? Like there's a ton of news that just dropped this week with a lot of robotics companies, and things are getting really crazy, really fast. So I think it's important to keep the morality and the ethical kind of standpoint front and center, as these companies and individuals start utilizing this technology.
So true. And to that end, so far we have not reviewed anything that we have been paid to show. This is literally just like those little unboxing videos. If you've got kids, you've seen where your kids are watching videos of people play with toys instead of playing with toys themselves. That's what we're doing, but we want you to play with this toy. Go try Reclaim.ai. Give us a comment. Let us know how you liked it. Tell us what else you want us to use. I know that Jake has already sent me a message of something that he wants us to try. So we're going to try that one soon. Thanks to everybody that's been leaving us comments. Troy, I saw yours last week. I went to respond to it and LinkedIn sort of swallowed it, but thank you so much. Guys, we want to hear from you because Jason and I are going to play with this stuff no matter what. We're going to try to break it. We're going to figure out how to use it to make our days faster because, again, we're running small businesses and most of our clients are small and medium businesses. So we are just looking for the ways to be the most productive using the technology available.
Absolutely. Thanks, Shannon. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube, subscribe, like here, share on LinkedIn if you guys are watching this now live. Super appreciate it as we kind of unwrap and unbox all this cool new tech.
Well, thanks, Jason. I can't wait to see what you're going to give us next week.
Oh,
Do I get
there's
hints?
so many options. And, this is going back to the Reclaim in the calendar. You and I have a pretty extensive concert calendar and events calendar. So I'm looking
We
forward
do.
to merging that in as well, especially this week and the next couple of weeks. We've got a lot of shows and things coming up, which is pretty cool. So I've got my huge list. I've been getting a lot of suggestions, so keep those rolling in too. I think I just need to pick which one. I've been playing with a lot of new cool platforms that are out there, more on the coding side and things like that. So I don't know if we want to dive into some of that next week or if we want to go back to some more fun stuff. There's just so many different options. So I'm going to keep it
So many
secret.
options.
Yeah.
So many options. I love it. This is so exciting. Jason, I can't wait to see what you have to show me next Tuesday morning at 7:45, where I will not have spent the entire day before flying to Boston, attending a conference, and flying back home. Whoosh.
Absolutely. Cool, Shannon. Sounds great. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.